Welcome back to Be Productive. So many of us are starting our own journeys. We're entering into that world of entrepreneurship. And if we want to have success as an entrepreneur, or really in any avenue that we are looking to succeed in, being productive and having the right mindset is critical. So, to help me talk about creating the right mindset, especially for entrepreneurship, I have my new friend, Feras Allhalou, joining me. So, Ferris, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to it, Clara.
Yes, we are going to have a fantastic conversation. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Mindset is everything. Mindset sets the stage, and it really is our key to greatness and success. So I would love to get your thoughts as an expert in this field. What are some of the key traits that you find are critical in really designing the mindset for a successful entrepreneur in today's world and market?
Yeah, thank you. There are a number of components, but I would say I would start with learning. It's a competitive world out there. If you specialize, you have some skill sets in accounting, in coaching, in IT, in whatever service, you have to differentiate. And one way to differentiate is to keep on learning. There are a lot that is going on, especially with AI these days, right? So staying ahead of the curve in learning, I think it's really important. And one thing about learning is not just about taking an online course, which is important, or maybe go on YouTube and watching a video. That's still fine. Make sure it's from a trusted source, but it's also the application that comes with it. So in my mind, learning is education and also applying what you've learned and putting that theory into practice. Then you're refining, improving. You're sort of building doing the reps, the 10,000 times you have to do it to become an expert. And I think as you become better known at what you do and you delight the customers and you get that positive sort of feedback cycle, I think you feel better about yourself, keep on learning, keep on working hard, and that will get you places.
Absolutely. Ferris, you really hit on the two components of not just having a growth mindset for learning, but also the implementation. I know one of the things that I started doing a few years back because I was noticing I was reading, I was attending classes, but I was not implementing. So I actually started a journal and it said on the front, things that I have learned. So after I read for that day, after I listened to a podcast, I would always write down what it was that I learned and end it with, how am I going to actually implement this? And this really helped me to take that knowledge and turn it into the actionable item. So I really love what you're saying. Having that growth mindset and learning how to implement it is key. So thanks for sharing that. That is a key trait to have. I want to talk a little bit about motivation because being an entrepreneur is not a smooth ride and a smooth journey from point A to point Z. It is up and down. And I tell people all the time, there's going to be several times in any given year that you want to just pack it up and run away. We have to be able to, again, maintain motivation and also resiliency. So how do you do this in your own world? How do you maintain your motivation and resiliency as an entrepreneur?
We probably can spend a whole episode on this, but in
No.
short, I'll start with the resilience. It's really important. I think it's critical. And diamonds are considered resilient because they transform from coal into gemstones over billions of years because of two things. One is they endure intense heat and then pressure. So as entrepreneurs, you don't know a lot of things about business. You might be an amazing, as I said, accountant or IT consultant or what have you, but then you have to learn marketing, sales, HR, every aspect of the business, and you will make mistakes. So if you can't get back up after you fall, and you will fall, it's not an if thing, it's only when.
Yeah.
If you don't pick yourself up and get back hitting the pavement, it's going to be really hard to learn and master what you struggled with and then become better at, master it and then obviously turn that into revenue. So you have to be able, I mean, don't take it too personal in a way. When someone doesn't buy from you on when you run a Facebook ad campaign and it doesn't give you the results, take a minute to learn. You can go on YouTube and search for advisors to help you with that. You can hire someone to help you with that. But it's about doing things. And then if you fall, when you fall, pick yourself back up and go at it again. But learn from that fall. You don't want to make the same mistakes again and again and again. You want to learn and build on what you've done in the past.
Yeah, it is so key. And, the one thing that you said is it's not a matter of if you will fall, it's when. And as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have to be able to give yourself the grace. And like you said, as long as you are learning, there are no mistakes. Now, can you think of a specific time or maybe a specific setback that you had, how you took that and found the resiliency and motivation to go forward and learn from it?
Yeah, I mean, a whole lot of setbacks. Some of this gray hair here for those listening. Check out the video to see the gray hair. But it is when we started the business. I had the first business, and this is not. We're on our seventh venture now. We're fortunate to be in this position. I didn't know how to sell. I was good with project management, client facing. Once we sold something, so we went knocking on doors, literally going to restaurants, to going to our local my dentist and other businesses. And Clara, the first day we went out, we went to 5 restaurants, 5 rejections. It was devastating. I mean, it took us, to be honest, it took us a couple of days to recover, my business partner and I, and they said, you know what, we gotta go do it again. And then we said, what did they ask us that we did not have answers for? And there were like probably 12 things that we came up with so that we were better equipped next time we went out and when we closed our first deal, we had those objections sort of handled in our mind, and we were able to close that deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so fantastic. What a great example of, again, falling, but then using that to lift you up, because those setbacks do happen. So thank you for being so open and honest and sharing that.
Oh, sure.
I've been in entrepreneurship now for, maybe about 20 years. And it was something that I never thought I would do. I always thought I wanted that quote unquote safe job and safe career.
Yeah.
Now being an entrepreneur, I would never go back. I love it. It is a challenge. So what advice would you have for somebody that is considering becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so at our company, we have these, I'm into martial arts, so we have these black belt principles. And one of them is entrepreneurship is 5 times harder than you think. And every time I start a new venture, it's like, oh my God, it's probably 50 times harder. But I think it's the mindset of getting, I think my job as a guide, as a coach, or you as a seasoned entrepreneur, Claire, is I think we want to pave the way. We want to show folks, like, not to make the mistakes we made, and for them to make a decision if entrepreneurship is right for them, because it does require time. I always say another principle: passion is optional, but sacrifice and skills are not. So at some seasons in our life, we might not have the time, the capacity, the resources to work 60 hours a week, because maybe we're taking care of aging parents, young children, health issues, what have you. So I think we're all capable of doing a whole lot more, but sometimes life doesn't give us the bandwidth or the resources or the capacity to do certain things, and that's okay. But when you have time, you have resources, I tell you, get into entrepreneurship. Take the leap. As Clara just said, it is rewarding, not just financially, but also you own your own business. You set your own, schedules, especially later after you work hard and establish a business. So initially it's hard. It's very hard. Sometimes, again, things around us don't allow us to do it. But when you have the opportunity, give it a try, go at it. You'll come out much stronger and better on the other side.
Love that. Love that. Ferris, you are just bringing so much wisdom. We have one more question for our segment today. Being an entrepreneur does require risk. At the same time, we want it to be smart and calculated risks. So how have you learned to balance risk taking with caution so that you can make smart decisions and still grow?
Yeah, it's hard. You learn the hard way. I would say you want to take calculated risks. So for example, if you have a business plan or you have a new service you want to offer, you're not sure, make sure if you have assumptions, your pricing, your cost, the market, validate the assumptions, do a lot of research before you go out and do make a major decision. And I think risk varies also, depending on, have you done businesses before? Have you, in your personal life, are you, do you climb mountains and do you jump from, from airplanes and parachutes? So we all are different and have different backgrounds. And also in general, I have amazing women models, role models in my life, my wife, and then my mom, may she rest in peace, and my daughters and others. In general, my observations from some of the data I've seen, women end up taking less risk than men, and that's not a bad thing. Don't look at it like, oh, I can't be an entrepreneur because I'm a woman. No, I think find your comfort zone. You got to push yourself a little bit and seek the help of advisors, of others who have been to where you want to go, and validate your assumptions. I think you'll be in a much better position to come out on top. No one guarantees success. Never, never, never. But I think you want to increase your chances of making a good decision.
Love that. Well, Ferris, I've really enjoyed our conversation. I think you hit on so many powerful items that I know are really going to bring value and help other business owners, entrepreneurs. So before we say goodbye for today, tell us, where can people find you? Because I know there's going to be people that want to learn more about you and possibly even work with you.
Thank you so much, Claire, and I appreciate your piece of advice as well. So you can go to startupwithferris.com, Ferris spelled like my first name, Feras, and also our YouTube channel at Startup with Ferris. And we have a whole lot of material, a lot of content on entrepreneurship, from vetting the idea all the way to marketing and sales and growing the business. Our slogan here is helping you master the art of starting and growing your business to 7 and 8 figures. So hopefully you can find some great content for you, and then you can sign up with our newsletter and get those tips and strategies.
Beautiful. Well, Ferris, thank you again for being here. And for those of you that are watching, listen to this advice. Being an entrepreneur is amazing. It does have some risk. It does have some expectations, and you can do it when you are committed to being productive. So stay tuned, because we'll be right back for more.